Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're going on a journey
Ooh, a journey.
through the history of book covers.
Okay.
We've got this fantastic article that traces their evolution, and I can't wait to unpack it with you.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing how much these covers reveal,
Yeah.
not just about the stories inside,
Yeah.
but about us as readers
Mhm.
and the times we live in.
It's true. They're like cultural artifacts, these
It's
little
fair.
windows into different eras.
So our mission today is to figure out how book covers have changed,
No.
what those changes say about us,
Right.
and why great cover design matters,
Yeah.
even in the age of digital reading.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, there are some seriously surprising twists along the way.
Oh, I bet.
Did you know that the earliest covers were more about luxury than marketing?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Think back to the 15th to 18th centuries.
Go.
Books were rare and expensive.
Wow.
More like owning a piece of art
Yeah.
than something you'd casually pick up.
Okay, so imagine a library filled with books, bound in leather,
Yes.
embossed with gold,
Uh-huh.
hand-painted details.
It must have been.
It must have been like stepping into a treasure vault.
It was a statement of wealth and status.
Wow.
These early covers were all about craftsmanship and
Uh.
showcasing the book as a precious object.
But then as printing technology advanced,
Right.
books became more affordable
Mm-hmm.
and a whole new audience emerged.
Yeah.
I bet that shook things up in the design world.
It did.
Really?
The 19th century saw the rise of the middle class
Mm,
and a surge in demand for books that were, well,
Yeah.
a bit easier on the wallet.
right.
Cloth-bound covers became the norm,
Okay.
but they weren't plain, intricate patterns,
Uh-huh.
floral motifs,
Right.
a touch of gold lettering.
So they were still beautiful, but in a more accessible way.
Yes.
It's like they were trying to appeal to a wider range of readers. Yeah. But were they still trying to give you a sense of what the book was about?
That's where it gets interesting.
Okay.
Those decorative elements started hinting at the genre and content. Gothic novels with dark dramatic covers,
Oh.
romantic poetry with delicate floral designs.
Okay.
It was the beginning of visual branding, even back then.
Wow. So it wasn't just about looks. It was about signaling what kind of reader you were.
Yeah.
Do you think people judged each other based on their book covers back then?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't either.
But this focus on visual communication really exploded in the early 20th century with the arrival of the dust jacket. Initially, it was just a protective layer.
Right.
Yeah.
But then became a canvas for artistic expression.
Yes.
I love this part of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly you've got these vibrant,
Mm-hmm.
illustrated dust jackets
Right.
embracing the Art Deco and Art Nouveau styles that were all the rage.
Think bold geometric patterns,
Yeah.
flowing lines,
Wow.
a sense of elegance and modernity.
It's like book covers became part of this larger movement celebrating design and visual storytelling.
It's funny, because the rise of Art Deco was all about aspiration,
Mhm.
reflecting this booming consumer culture.
Right.
And suddenly, book covers were tapping into that same energy,
Right.
making you want to buy them,
Yeah.
not just for the words,
Yeah.
but for the art itself.
That's a brilliant connection.
And then you have iconic covers like The Great Gatsby,
Oh, yeah.
which perfectly embodies this trend.
That cover.
It's not just a pretty picture.
No.
It captures the mood,
Yes.
the themes of glamour and disillusionment.
Right.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It shows how design can elevate a narrative,
Okay.
adding another layer of meaning to the story.
But this explosion of visual styles,
Yeah.
it makes me wonder, did readers get overwhelmed?
Mm.
Was it harder to choose a book back then with so much vying for their attention?
Perhaps,
Yeah.
but change was afoot.
Oh.
The mid-20th century brought another revolution, the paperback.
The paperback.
That must have been a game changer.
Yeah.
It made books affordable
Right.
and accessible to a whole new generation of readers.
But how did that impact cover design?
Paperbacks were a huge shift. They
Okay.
democratized reading,
Yeah.
and the design aesthetic followed suit.
Okay.
Think about those early Penguin paperbacks
Yeah.
with their clean lines, bold typography, a minimalist approach.
Oh, yeah.
They were revolutionary.
I love those.
Yeah.
They still feel modern today.
Yeah, they do.
It's amazing how those early designs still resonate.
They were a huge influence.
Mm-hmm.
Penguin understood that a clean, simple cover could make books feel less intimidating,
Right.
more like everyday objects.
Yeah,
It's a design philosophy you see in brands like Apple today,
that's true.
focus on sleek, minimalist aesthetics.
And it's interesting how this shift towards minimalism coincided with the rise of modern art movements.
Exactly.
like Bauhaus and Cubism.
There was a move away from ornate details.
Towards functionality, clarity,
Right.
and a break from tradition.
So as a reflection of the changing world around them.
Yes.
It's like these covers were saying,
Yeah.
we're modern, we're accessible
Right.
for everyone.
And then things got really interesting in the 1960s and 70s with the rise of counterculture.
Oh,
Think psychedelic colors,
yeah.
surreal imagery,
I love
and typography that broke all the rules.
This is my favorite era for cover design.
It's so vibrant.
You can almost feel the music and the energy of the time reflected in those covers.
Especially in genres like fantasy and sci-fi,
Yeah.
where they were really pushing boundaries.
Imagine those early editions of Dune or Tolkien's works.
Oh, yeah.
Their otherworldly illustrations.
Oh.
Like they were transporting you to a different dimension.
They perfectly captured the imagination and spirit of rebellion
Right.
that were so central to the counterculture,
It's fascinating how these covers.
while reflecting their time.
Mm-hmm.
Also seemed to predict what was to come.
In a way.
This idea of escaping into fantastical worlds.
Yeah,
It's even more relevant today, isn't it?
I think so.
With the rise of things like virtual reality and the metaverse.
It's a great observation,
Yeah.
but the evolution doesn't stop there.
Oh,
In the late 20th century,
oh.
photography and digital design tools entered the scene.
And suddenly you have covers featuring actual characters.
Yes.
Landscapes.
Right.
Even objects from the story itself.
Exactly.
It was a whole new level of visual connection to the narrative.
And genre-specific trends became more distinct.
Oh, really?
Think about romance novels with their sweeping landscapes.
Yeah.
And let's just say passionate embraces,
I know exactly what you mean.
or thrillers with their stark minimalism,
Okay.
often featuring a single evocative image.
I've totally noticed that.
Have you?
You can practically spot your favorite genre from across the bookstore
I know it's true.
just by the cover design.
Exactly.
Genres establish their own visual language, making it easier for readers to find the books they loved.
Right.
And that trend has only intensified in the digital age.
So we've gone from luxurious leather to minimalist paperbacks to photography and digital design.
Wow, what a journey.
It's amazing to see how book covers have mirrored the evolution of technology and visual culture.
It is.
But with so much happening online,
Yeah.
how have covers adapted to this new landscape?
One of the biggest trends is the rise of minimalism.
Okay.
Clean lines,
Mm.
bold typography,
Mhm.
a focus on simplicity.
Right.
It's a style that translates well to the small screens of our phones and e-readers.
That makes sense.
Donna Tartt's The Goldfinch is a great example.
I love that cover.
Yeah, it's
So striking, even as a tiny thumbnail.
And you see a lot of covers today,
Yeah.
blending these modern techniques with a touch of nostalgia,
Oh, interesting.
drawing inspiration from past trends to create something unique.
It's like a remix of design history.
And with so many books being published now,
Right.
especially with the rise of self-publishing,
Yeah.
do you think it's harder than ever for a cover to stand out?
It's definitely a challenge.
Yeah.
Especially when you consider how small those ebook thumbnails are.
Right.
Designers have to make sure the title is legible.
Yeah.
The author's name is clear.
Mhm.
And the image, no matter how minimalist, grabs your attention.
It's like creating a micro masterpiece.
It is.
But beyond just grabbing attention, we've talked about how covers reflect culture and trends.
Right.
Do you think they also say something about us as individual readers?
That's where the psychology of book covers gets really fascinating.
Okay.
It's not just about aesthetics.
Right.
It's about how those designs tap into our subconscious,
It's interesting.
influencing our perceptions before we even read a word.
So you're saying we're making snap judgments about a book based on its cover?
Absolutely.
Wow.
And research shows that those judgments are often accurate.
I know I've definitely picked up books solely based on their covers.
I have too.
But what is it about certain designs that draw us in? Is it color?
It's all of those things.
Okay.
Color psychology plays a huge role.
Okay.
Warm colors like reds and yellows
Uh-huh.
tend to evoke feelings of excitement and energy,
Right.
making them popular for thrillers and young adult fiction.
Oh, that makes sense.
Cooler colors like blues and greens convey calm peace
Yeah.
or even mystery.
So even subconsciously,
Yes.
we're associating those colors with certain moods in genres.
Precisely.
What about fonts?
Oh, fonts are crucial.
Okay.
Typography is crucial.
Yeah.
Elegant flowing scripts might signal a romance or historical drama,
Right.
while bold sans serif fonts might suggest something more modern,
Okay.
edgy,
Uh-huh.
or even minimalist.
Wow. So there's a whole science to this.
There is.
But when all these elements come together in a well-crafted cover,
Yes,
it's like magic.
I
You're
know.
instantly drawn in. Your curiosity is piqued, and you just know you have to read that book.
It's like meeting someone new and having that instant connection.
Exactly.
You just click.
And just like with people,
Yeah,
those first impressions can be surprisingly accurate.
they can.
A well-designed cover often reflects the care and attention that went into the writing itself.
I agree.
It's a good sign.
It's a promise of a great reading experience.
Yeah.
But this makes me wonder, with all this talk about the past,
Mm-hmm.
what about the future?
Oh,
Where is book cover design headed?
that's a great question.
I'm excited to see what happens.
I'm so curious to know what new trends or technologies might emerge.
Me too.
What are you most excited about?
One thing that really excites me is the potential of augmented reality to transform book covers.
Augmented reality.
Yeah.
How would that work?
Imagine holding your phone over a book cover
Okay.
and seeing the characters come to life,
Wow.
or watching the setting unfold in 3D.
That would be incredible.
It could create a whole new level of engagement,
Right.
blurring the lines between the physical and digital.
It's like bringing those interactive elements we see in apps and games
Exactly.
right into the world of books.
It could be especially impactful for genres like fantasy,
Yeah.
sci-fi,
Right.
or children's books.
Oh, I can totally see kids going wild for that.
I know, me too.
It would make reading even more immersive and exciting.
And it could open up new possibilities for storytelling
Okay.
and visual expression. Like the cover becomes a portal into the world of the book.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
Speaking of pushing boundaries,
Yeah.
I've noticed that indie authors are often more willing to experiment with unique and unconventional cover designs.
It's true.
Why do you think that is?
Self-publishing platforms have given authors more control over their creative vision,
Okay.
including the design of their covers.
That makes sense.
We're seeing a lot of fresh, innovative designs coming from the indie world,
Right.
and that's really shaking things up.
It's like a whole new ways of visual storytelling is emerging.
It is.
And with technology constantly evolving,
Yeah.
who knows what other possibilities might be on the horizon?
Right.
Maybe we'll have covers that change based on our mood,
Ooh, that'd be cool.
or covers that are personalized to our individual reading preferences.
The possibilities are endless,
Yeah.
and that's what makes this such an exciting field.
Mhm.
Book covers are more than just static images.
Okay.
They're dynamic expressions of creativity,
Right.
storytelling,
Yeah.
and the ever-evolving relationship between books and readers.
Well said.
Thank you.
It's been such a fascinating journey exploring the world of book covers.
It has.
We've seen how they've transformed over centuries, reflecting changes in technology,
Right.
art, and
Mhm.
culture.
And how those designs tap into our psychology,
Yes.
influencing our choices and shaping our first impressions of the stories within.
It really highlights how book covers are more than just pretty pictures. They're powerful storytellers in their own right,
Yeah.
inviting us to explore new worlds, connect with characters,
Right.
and experience the magic of reading.
And that's something worth celebrating,
Absolutely.
no matter what form those covers might take in the future.
So the next time you're browsing a bookstore
Yes.
or scrolling through your e-reader,
Mm-hmm.
I encourage you to really look at those book covers.
Don't just glance at them.
Okay.
Take a moment to appreciate the artistry,
Right.
the thought, and the subtle messages they convey.
Oh, well.
Think about the era they were designed in,
Okay.
the genre they represent, and the emotions they evoke.
Because each cover is a window into a world of creativity,
Yes.
storytelling, and the enduring power of books.
And before we go, I want to leave you with this thought.
Okay.
If book covers are a reflection of our cultural history, what do today's designs say about us? What trends are shaping our visual landscape? And how might those trends influence the future of this art form?
I love that.
It's something to think about.
It's something I'll definitely be thinking about.
Good.
Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.
It was my pleasure.